Following up a successful album is a huge task. Plenty of great musicians have released albums after their critically acclaimed breakthroughs whose sales paled in comparison. If you land a major label record deal for your first album, things are great and everything's working to your advantage. If you don't, then you keep chopping at the bit and it's back to the drawing board. But when you've got a piece of work that's out there and it's got exposure and people are interested, the business cycles kick in. Suddenly you have to keep the label happy, you have to stay true to what you do, and you worry about if you can maintain the success so you can keep doing what you love so much. In many aspects, it becomes just like having a job. In 1998, Radiohead had just ended their Running from Demons tour. The band was burned out, came close to splitting up, and York was suffering from severe depression. Tom had become particularly hostile towards the media. He thought his music was just fridge buzz to them. Quote, all the sounds you made that made you happy have been sucked of everything they meant. Writing was also a major issue. Every time I picked up a guitar, I just got the horrors. I would start writing a song, stop after 16 bars, hide it away in a drawer, look at it again, tear it up, destroy it. Adding to it all, the band members all had different expectations of what it should sound like. Ed O'Brien wanted 3-minute guitar pop songs, for example, and York wanted something more rhythmic, saying he'd completely had it with melody. Tom's new songs were incomplete, and most were just lyrics he pulled out of a hat over a drum machine beat. The songs started going through a huge change and started sounding nothing like they originated. The members had started picking up other instruments previously unfamiliar to them, and emphasis was put more on atmosphere than playing. Quote, it's scary, everybody feels insecure. I'm a guitarist and suddenly it's like, well, there are no guitars on this track, or no drums. Over time, they all caught on and embraced York's vision of a more electronic album using Pro Tools and Cubase. Despite being so electronic, they still referred to themselves as a rock band. Johnny Greenwood said, quote, I see it like this, a voice into a microphone, onto a tape, onto your CD, through your speakers is all as illusory and fake as any synthesizer. It doesn't put Tom in your front room. In the spring of 2000, the band had almost 30 songs done. By the end of the 90s and the beginning of the millennium, the world was becoming a very different place thanks to the internet. Parlophone and Capitol took advantage of this and started promoting the album almost entirely just online. Upon its release, no singles were released for the album, no music videos were made, just little shorts online and aired on some music video channels during commercial breaks. These were called blips, and 41 in total were made. Little was said in these, no release date, not even the album name, just a segment, then Radiohead at the end. Oh, speaking of cryptic, did you know that the early pressings of Kid A had 2 booklets? Yes, there was the obvious one, and then there was one made underneath the CD tray. How awesome would it be to have this album around for years, not even know that, and then one day just spot it out of the corner of your eye? Kid A, upon its release, was hailed across the board by critics. I also find it cool Rolling Stone was willing to name it one of the best albums of all time just 4 years after it came out. In October 2000, the band appeared on Saturday Night Live, and I remember very well watching this. I had just heard the album shortly beforehand, and I was both shocked at how different it sounded from everything else in rock, and blown away by their performances. It's definitely up there in my favorite SNL performances ever. Kid A for me is one of those rare occurrences in rock where I hear an album one time and at the end of the last track I know I've just witnessed something fucking amazing. It to me is a prime example of when a band made the best of a bad situation and were doing things their way and taking over the world in the process. It should be a blueprint to other bands that if you really truly believe in what you do, put your entire being into it and fuck what everyone else thinks.